Tesla is no longer a company that lives or dies by how many EVs it sells this quarter. What Tesla is really building right now is something much bigger. It's building the AI infrastructure that will eventually replace human driving itself. Hi, this is Ken. Once you see Tesla from that perspective, a lot of recent news suddenly starts to make sense. If you're a Tesla investor or even just someone following the company closely, today's video is about upgrading how you interpret Tesla news, not reacting to headlines one by one, but understanding the deeper strategy behind them. By the end of this video, you should have a clearer framework for judging what actually matters for Tesla's long-term value and what is mostly short-term noise. Over the past few weeks, we've seen several headlines that seem unrelated at first glance. Tesla expanded Robotaxi-related hiring to around 20 countries. Some Wall Street analysts raised their price targets, not because of EV sales, but because of autonomy and AI. And Elon Musk started talking about the Roadster as the last car humans will drive. Individually, these sound like separate stories, but together they're pointing in the same direction. Let's start with the Robotaxi hiring, because this is easy to underestimate. If Robotaxi were still a vague future concept, Tesla wouldn't need to hire people across so many regions. Global hiring means local operations, real-world testing, regulatory coordination, and data collection on a serious scale. This is no longer about asking, will Robotaxi work someday? It's about asking, how fast can this be deployed and how far can it scale? That's a very different phase. And this leads to something even more important. The true value of Robotaxi is not the car itself. It's the data, the learning loop, and the network effect. Every mile driven makes the system smarter. Every city adds a new layer of real-world complexity that improves the AI. Tesla is quietly setting up the conditions for that compounding effect. Now, here's where many people get stuck. Media coverage still focuses heavily on EV price cuts, competition from China, and quarterly delivery numbers. Those things matter, but they don't tell the full story anymore. Tesla is already starting to move beyond the phase where EVs are the main question. EVs are becoming the foundation, the stable, cash-generating base. On top of that base, Tesla is building something closer to a real-world AI platform, and that shift changes how we should think about the company going forward. So what does this shift mean for investors? Historically, Tesla was valued like a high-growth automaker. Deliveries, margins, and factory efficiency were the core metrics. But now, something subtle is changing. Some analysts are no longer asking how many cars Tesla will sell next year. They're asking how autonomous Tesla's system can become and how defensible that advantage is. This is why recent price target upgrades focus on FSD and AI, not on EV volume. Tesla is starting to be evaluated as a company that learns and improves autonomously in the real world. That's a very different valuation model. Here's an unexpected but important point. Tesla doesn't actually need Robotaxi to be perfect everywhere to win. It only needs it to work extremely well in a limited number of cities. Once autonomy works reliably in one complex urban environment, expanding to the next city becomes less about engineering and more about replication. At that point, growth starts to look like software scaling, not manufacturing expansion. That's a major reason why Tesla's approach is fundamentally different from traditional automakers. Looking ahead, the real question isn't whether autonomy arrives overnight. It won't. The real question is where it arrives first and how fast it compounds after that. We're likely to see uneven adoption. Some cities move faster, some regulators approve earlier, but once the system proves itself in real-world operation, momentum becomes difficult to stop. Tesla is positioning itself so that when that moment arrives, it already owns the data, the AI, and the operational experience. For long-term investors, this changes what's worth paying attention to. Short-term stock movements will always happen. Delivery numbers will fluctuate. Price competition will continue. But the deeper story is about whether Tesla succeeds in turning driving into an AI-managed service, not as a concept, but as a functioning system in the real world. Tesla isn't betting on selling more cars forever, it's betting on replacing human driving as the default, and that's a much bigger opportunity. If today's video helped you see Tesla from a slightly different angle, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you see autonomy as the core of Tesla's future, or do you think EVs will remain the main driver? Let me know in the comments. And if you're interested in long-term thinking around Tesla AI and how technology reshapes real-world systems, consider subscribing. I focus less on daily noise and more on where things are heading. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.